Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Funeka. I am your host, Funeka Soga, and for today's episode, right next to me, I've got Siviwe Nohaji, who is working in the finance industry as a broker consultant. Recently, actually, Siviwe won an award for being the top broker consultant in the Eastern Cape for 2023. How do you actually feel about that before we even get into the swing of things?
Look, it's a huge achievement, but I think the next step now is, like being the top in South Africa, so that is the next step. But it's nice and everything. But look, I don't look at it as like my only achievement. Look, we work as a team in the Eastern Cape, right? We always assisting each other. Everyone is, if I have something that I need assistance with the guys in East London, they call away. I ask them, can you help me with this? And then they do it. So, it's a team effort, man. I wouldn't say by,
But I still think it's something to be proud of.
Yes, no, definitely.
But I love that because teamwork makes the dream work.
You said it wrong.
So today we are going to be speaking about money management tips, and we're going to be sharing our own perspectives. But if you do need further assistance, please seek help from a registered financial advisor.
Yes.
Yes.
And before we start, let me tell you and everyone else who's watching that I am no expert in this. As I told you earlier.
He has been telling me this, by the way.
So I don't want anybody coming up to me and saying,
You were saying, I took
exactly.
your advice.
Yeah.
No, guys, we are sharing our perspectives.
Perfect. Let's put it like that. Our perspectives. Yeah.
I love that because that was actually such an honest disclaimer. Actually.
Yeah.
So I think centering our conversation, just about money management. I think let's just even start with budgeting.
Right.
Yeah. How do you budget? Do you have a monthly budget? Do you even think it's important to budget? Because of course we have both been working for a couple of years, so we do understand the logistics of getting an income every month. So how do you budget?
All right, cool. That's a very good question. Look, budgeting is very important, right? You don't want to be in a situation that you were not supposed to be in and you're not prepared for it. All right. So budgeting helps you in a way, Oguba, that those tough times you are able to maneuver around them. So on my side, I have to budget. I've got a 1-year-old now.
Very beautiful daughter.
So I have to budget so that she's also very taken care of.
Yeah.
You don't want like a week before your next payday and there's no nappies and there's no, because she goes to daycare and there's no lunch for anything for her. So budgeting is extremely important, not just for someone who is a parent, but for each and every person. For people who are working, you don't want not to budget. Like the last week or now money for transport to go to work, and you end up asking other people, because at this current stage, it's very tough economically. So everyone is kind of we're saving, we're putting this away. So now, if Funeka comes to Siviwe, can I borrow I'll pay back next week, type of thing. It causes a shift in my budget, what the savings are. So we have to get out of the mentality that the person I'm gonna ask for
is there.
And man. It's tough times, so we have to. It's extremely important to budget so that you don't.
And you actually, that is so important, especially when you said, so that example you made, so that I don't come maybe a week or two before payday asking you for money.
Yeah.
Because I even read something a week ago where, just like, from your financial news and things like that, where even, experts they were saying that let's not have this thing of where you are dependent on other people, because other people, they even learned with their own family members, they even tell their family members straight off the bat that you're not in my budget. And they do it, it's all from a place of love, but they actually tell them, you're not in my budget. Because like you even said, our economy right now, it's actually skyrocketing, to be quite honest. Because for me, how I budget is, actually my brother taught me this, draft a budget.
I think this is very I think your brother done a good job, because I can still remember it's a post you made like a few years ago, and you keep mentioning it, but please do share.
Right? They literally told me, draft a budget, because I was someone that never had it. So he told me, draft a budget, because he asked me once, where does your money go every month? And I was just singing it, oh yeah, and then I do this, and then I do my hair. He was like, no, have it, even if you have like a table on Microsoft Word, or you can even jot it down, actually even on a book or anywhere. So I actually have an actual budget so that I can see where all my money goes. Like obviously I won't mention everything, but there's, your necessities, there's things like transport to work. I know how much that must come out for that every month. Lunch for work, because I have to eat, I get hungry, breakfast, lunch, that's twice a day for 5 days. So things like that, doing my hair, I have to add that in the budget, because those are things to me that I am not going to stop doing. Those are things, those are upkeep, so they go there. Toiletries, there's even an entertainment one. I don't know if other people also maybe do have it, but I definitely do also have it.
Yeah, you should have.
An allocation,
you should have
for that as well. So that's essentially that. I just definitely have a monthly budget that I stick to, and then that way I know that if there's any additional, I just leave it there and I let it sit, so that I'm not, crouching, when it's like few days before payday, so that you just basically, you get to the next month and the next month without actually even, like you said, having to ask family members or everybody.
Definitely. And that also though requires a lot of discipline, right? You have to be extremely disciplined to really follow it out. But the first stage though, Nyani, is planning and jotting down what needs to be done and so on. Don't just go in there like blindfolded, otherwise you're going to crash. But Nyani, it's a brilliant strategy though.
And that even leads to my next point, because saving. Do you save? How do you save? And have you always been someone that did save their money? Because I know I haven't. Oh my gosh.
Alright, so no, I don't save. I'm extremely bad at that. But let me tell you a story.
Honesty.
Always. Facts. Let me tell you a story. So I used to be a huge saver. Like I think it was the way I used to save it was crazy. So when I was young, I used to save a lot. Alright, so to a point whereby my mom, she'll go and do groceries, and then she'll ask us about, okay, what do you want me to buy for you?
Okay.
And then we'll be like, chocolate, my sister chocolates and whatnot, born and yogurts and whatnot. She'll be like, okay, cool, I'll buy you guys that. Then I would say, please don't buy me those things. Then give me the money instead, and then I knew I would save that money. Alright, so that's how I was growing up. Growing up, like that's how I was. Like my mother knew as well, so I was a big saver, right?
Are you putting it in a bank, if I can ask you, or just keeping it like cash at home?
No, keeping it like cash at home.
At home.
Yeah, it was at home. Which is not that, but when you're still young,
still savings.
Still savings. So I think where it all went wrong is when I was in high school. All right. So I think in high school, you start getting people are buying fancy things. They clothes, they whatnot,
latest
shoes and whatnot, and then you also end up falling for that trap, right? Now the money you have been saving up for all those years, you ask your mom, can I get like these Adidas tackies for you? She's like, no, I can't afford those now. I'm saving now. And then next thing, you tap into your savings, you start buying those things so that you can look.
And the money's depleting now.
So after that, then it's just been downhill, right? It's been downhill. Obviously, there is savings here and there, but it's not as before, So to answer your question, I don't really save as before. I understand the importance of saving though. All right. But what I do think is more important than saving, right, is getting. For example, if you are working like your 9 to 5 and whatnot, you have to have something on the side, right? That is extremely, extremely important. And I think that is much better than saving, because, you know, if you have that second job, right, there is that money that is coming in. It's coming in, and you can use just this one that is for your 9 to 5 job. You can use that one, and then the other one that is like your side hustle, that can always be, you must just like turn a blind eye on that. Like, this is just going to that account, and I'm not gonna touch that. That is only for my my side hustle thing going on. So the one that you are using your 9 to 5, you can spend that. That's my thinking. You can spend that, but that one, you know that there is something that is going on on an account that you do not touch.
Oh, and you know, you're actually saying something else that I've also had a chat with a friend before, that having a second income coming in. Again, I mean, you even said it in the beginning, Siviwe, about the economy, whatever it is, because even now, even though you know that I'm also working, I'm still doing promotions.
Yes.
You know, that second income of money helps, whether even if you do waitressing, it doesn't always have to be an actual full-time job. The second income, it can be promos. I mean, there's freelancers, there's people that are actually highly skilled in many things.
Yeah, opening a bomb at the stadium.
You know what I mean? That's another perfect example right there. Videographer, being a photographer, there's many things. Writing up CVs for people. I mean, I've seen so many amazing things that people are actually doing for extra income. Use basically what you're skilled at and make that work for you.
Yes, definitely.
And literally make that work for you.
Yeah, you have to really know what skill that you're good at, and also find something that you're really passionate about. So it does not seem as if it is a job. All right. For example, the bombing thing, it's because at varsity we used to do that, and we used to do it with my friends. So they used to like okay, because I was like the supervisor. They would like say, well, please bring us 5 guys, and then it's kind of informal. It's not too formal, so you can choose anyone you want. So then I choose my friends, and then you know. That type of setting is just like, no, we're just sitting together, selling whatever we need to sell.
That's still earning income.
Everyone now, your whole circle is earning an income.
And you know me, how I've learned to save is just knowing what I'm saving towards. You know, obviously, again, may not be the best person, but I mean, this is just what has worked for me. So of course, have my salary that comes in, and I set up even debit orders. That way, I don't have to do it. You know, I don't have to do it by myself. The money will go off automatically as soon as basically the paycheck comes in. Money goes into my savings. That way, I know whatever happens, you're not touching that money because it's literally in an investment account. A certain portion goes there. That actually is the same method I use for my entertainment budget. Extracted now the day it comes in. So those two, savings, let's go that way. Entertainment budget, let's go that way. And then a tiny portion as well, my own portion of course. And then I'll yank it into my emergency fund.
Yes.
Yeah, because with that one, I think I've always, with videos that I also watched and stuff like that, because you know, we don't always have this information or this knowledge, we learn as we grow up, we learn as life goes on, that, you know, try and have an investment, an emergency savings as well, because
an emergency fund.
And an emergency fund, apparently it can be any emergency, because what's an emergency to me can be, I don't know, maybe a window breaking or whatever, but for you, you know, you have a car. Your tire could literally go through a flat tire and you yank. And you go through that because they say, exactly, an emergency fund must be that account you must be able to tap in right now as an emergency happens. So I just try at least just a bit, you know, to go and put in there. So that's how I personally save. So I just make sure automatically every single month that some portion goes there. That way I know at least, okay, what's left will be used towards my budget, and then anything house, we at least we cruise. I don't, we don't stress other people,
Yeah, no, generally emergency fund is extremely important. You have to have money there in case of anything that
in case of a rainy day.
Yeah, like there's so many potholes in PE, you won't understand. Like, I think it was
and you drive, so you
I think it was 2 years back where my tires, I think I changed them for like, there was, like 4, I bought like 4 tires in a year, so, and it's tires. Well, my tires are expensive.
My gosh. Did you have to tap into money that you didn't plan for it, or did you have like a portion stacked away?
I had a portion. I had a portion. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank goodness, at least.
Yeah, no, at least. Even with my friend as well, though, yes. It happened to my friend as well. So even with him, he was safe because now he had some bonnet things stashed away. So, but someone also advised me though, since there's potholes and whatnot, that there are actually like insurance for like tires, just for your tires. Yeah, well, so another thing one should have is like insurance. And before, insurance nowadays is for like almost every single thing. Like everything has insurance. It's crazy how everything has. But it's very important though to have those insurances because it's a lifesaver.
But for you, again, actually just touching on that, because of course you do have a car, and I'm sure there's many other people that have a car. Because you mentioned it's good to have insurance for tires. I thought, well, this is what I thought. I thought if you have insurance for your car, isn't it all? Doesn't it cover everything that your car, your tires?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Look, as I said, there's a lot of insurance. Some of them will say, look, we cover this, we cover the tires, we cover this. But most of them, they just cover maybe like maybe your windows, for example. Just windows and the windscreen in your car. If for example, the last time I was in North End, they broke into my car. So then I'll call my insurance and tell them, look, man, the passenger window is broken. And then they'll be like, okay, cool, no, we fix that to the amount of. Which is a big help because the windows are also expensive. So depending on what type of insurance you have, then they can be maybe your insurance can say, but look, we cover also if you do have a tire that is a problem, or when your tire burst or whatnot, we can also fix that for you. But it varies. I think, but the most popular ones, they just cover like your windows and your windscreen.
Oh, then tires will be safe. So basically, just always read the T's and C's to make sure what you're covered on, what you're not covered on.
Yes,
basically.
It's very extremely important that because sometimes, for example, like I think it was a few weeks back, a family friend, their car they were in an accident. When they went to claim, they were like, no, we only pay because your policy only covers for the third party. So we're not gonna pay out for your car, but you're gonna pay out for their car only. So you have to look out for not for now. You may have a disappointment in that because you've been paying all these years. So it's very, very important to look at the T's and C's.
Yes, and all the clauses. Now that's just making me think. Obviously, for one day when I get a car, don't make that mistake.
Yes, you have, especially when they're selling it to you. All those, don't put
excited by knowing that.
Just put the phone on the side and carry on and yes. Because they always ask you, do you agree? You're like, yes, you agree. You know what I mean? So it's very important to listen to that stuff.
Gee whiz. And now coming into debt. Or bad spending habits. Have you ever had bad spending habits or been in any type of debt? And how did you overcome that? If you ever have experienced that. Or bad spending habits, if it hasn't been debt.
Is it? I think the first time I got a credit card, all right. I think that's where that's the only thing I can think of right now is a credit card, right? Now, when I first got my credit card, you know what? That money is not your money.
First and foremost, because your face is
So first and foremost, okay. So I think what happened to me, which took me a lot of time for me to recover that debt, it's because, you know, the credit card, that's not your money. And that money, if you spend 1,000 now, make sure by the end of the month you have paid it back. Yeah, well, so the problem is thinking that it is like your money and then you just go on the splurge. You know, you're spending it and whatnot, you end up not having any money now there. And then, you know, there's obviously, they will tell you how to pay it back, or they'll just deduct from your salary every time it comes in. Now, it becomes bad because, say now, they're gonna take low amount, like even when they take that amount, it's still like how can I put this? Like, let me make an example.
Yeah.
So they take 2,000 rand, right? We're gonna take 2,000 rand a month, and then from that 2,000 rand, because they also want you to have money in your credit card, right? They will say, okay, when I take 2,000 rand, in 1,200 rand, we're gonna put it. It's gonna come back to us, and then 800 rand is gonna go to you, right? Now, if you did not have any other money saved or anything, you're gonna end up again tapping into the 800 rand. So it becomes finished again. So you're back on zero. So now it becomes a cycle. Now it's been 4 years we've been doing the same thing, right? Now, that amount you would have long time finished paying for it if you did not continuously go back to the credit card. Yeah, well, so I think that's the trap some people fall into, myself included back then. Obviously now I'm wiser, you know. Most important thing, pay off your credit card. And look, credit card is useful for some things, but look, you have to just put that thing aside and make sure like you don't put it like in your mind whereby you've got that credit card. Yeah, like just put it like for that. And another thing is what I would not recommend, what I've never done for myself, you know, your overdraft. I think with overdraft is the worst
I
thing.
don't want that.
Like I think that is look, yeah, but anyways. Yeah.
But for people that don't know actually what an overdraft is, I think just share that with us actually as like
in simple in terms of the overdraft is if you spend your salary, you can still keep spending even though your salary is finished, but then it's just gonna go into a minus. So then when
it's not your money.
It's not your money. So when you get paid, they will just take that, or deduct it from your salary. Alright? Now if you were Funeka, for example, who had planned like what she's gonna do with the money. Now the previous month you were in a deficit, you're in a negative, you know. Now what it happens with your plans or your budgeting, but now you don't have one of the amount of money that you had planned for like in the beginning. So now, and to keep up with everything that you've budgeted for, you keep going into an overdraft and it becomes deeper and deeper. So that's another thing that I think is very, very bad. So let's watch out for that overdrafts. Make sure you do not, by all means.
Basically, just try your best at least to not just tap into that service.
Yes.
Banks will offer it. You know.
Because they know. Because
they will offer it.
They know the trap they want to put you in.
They want you there.
They know they definitely want you there. Also speaking on debt, another one, because with me, I don't want to say it, but I almost said it. They gave me a credit card, and then also because I knew I have to have like a second income, right?
Yes.
Now, there is some debt that is good for you. There is debt that can help you create wealth. All right. For example, you go into the bank, ask them for money, right? Now they give you low amount that you need. In your mind, you know that you must start a business with that money, right? Now that debt can help you create wealth. Now you have to, but obviously you have to quickly pay back as soon as possible. Yes. Now, you know, sometimes then the business that you wanted to start, it does not go in your favor. it does not go well, because not every single business is going to be a successful one. You know, so unfortunately, then on my side, I had the people that I tried to recruit were not the best fit for what I had wanted to do, and it's very important for one to have like a good staff when they're wanting to do like a business and whatnot. If they're not in the same mindset and the same vision as you are in,
so important.
So in a way that also led me to a debt, because the company I wanted to start, it did not go as well, and then I was just left there with having to pay the money back. So it was the credit card and that, so it was pretty bad, but thank goodness that it's sorted.
But at least you see with the business that you wanted to start, and of course, you are even sharing with us that it actually didn't go well. But it didn't go well just, for different factors, even like maybe the workforce that you chose and things like that. And just, what did that actually even teach you, like that specific experience? Because I think that maybe even a number of business owners, whether it's young or old, and it maybe didn't work, or they just maybe regretted the people that they decided to work with.
Yes.
So what did that experience personally for you? Like, what did you learn from that?
Look, I think that business idea I had is still a great one. But as I said, it's just one of the type of people that I chose. All right. So I chose because of them giving me sad stories. Right? They're close friends who gave like sad stories on why they want to be on board. So my regret is that falling into the trap of emotions.
Yes, of course.
Right? So my advice would be, when you're starting it up, don't involve like emotions and whatnot, or family members, or or family friends and so on. Don't choose based on those things and their stories, but choose on merit and people that you think you can see, but no, this guy is on the same train that I'm in. That's I think that is where I went wrong. I fell into that emotional trap, and that really was a bad move on my side.
But at least you know what you learned from it.
So that's what I'm saying. It wasn't a bad idea. It's just the type of caliber of people I chose into bringing them in. Otherwise, if I chose like the band of Harrites, it would be a different story. So that's just where I had to fix. But now, obviously, it's a bit of I'm still trying to plan it out. I think it's in the near future. I'm still gonna push it through.
Good. And if it's like you even saying now, Siviwe, if it's a vision that this can work, but you know already that mistake, I still want to make this idea work. I think it's so great that you even can actually take something from that, like, I'll still do it, but I'm going to give myself time. Like you say now, I'm going to do it, but you're going to give yourself a few years. And this time you have that knowledge now, remember, from that experience anyway,
definitely.
Let me be very strict this time when you choose the caliber of people. It doesn't even have to be a group. Maybe you might even find you only want two people on your team. Maybe 2, 1, 3. Obviously, what the vision is and what the vision needs. Actually, you the best person that knows.
Definitely, that's very true.
I think for me, when it comes to spending, I've definitely my first and second year actually of working, I was not spending that well. Actually, my brother even had to sit me down and give me a chat, because every single time, I promise you, I don't know how it happened. I could not get to the end of the month. I really couldn't get to the end of the month. I was just like, my salary would come in. I think, okay, all in, spend my money, just spend. Then mid-month, like I promise you, like maybe the second week or the third week, it's not even payday coming yet. I'm already always, like, I literally got to such a bad cycle, if you want to where I would always have to ask my brother, like, to bail me out. As much as I know, my brothers love me so much. The stuff that they've done for me, love them. They have, like, I've always had to call them and be like, can they help me? Maybe with I just need maybe 2,000 to push me until the end of the month, or you want something. And then they would send me maybe 3,000, so it gets groceries as well and forth. But then as even though I had fallen into that bad spending cycle, I love the serious talk that my brother gave me, because he was like, no man, nigga, why is it that your salary doesn't take you through to the end of the month? And then he asked me, I was like, I don't know. He's like, yes. He's like, the problem is lying there, because you don't know where your money is going. Because he asked me, where does your money go?
Yeah.
Like he was just asking from a caring point of view, because he was just asking me, really, where does your money go? Do you know? And I would just say, oh, transport and whatever. He was like, no, nigga, let's do something. Let's have a chat where I just at least give you that beginning foundation setup of how to actually handle this money, because he just didn't like that factor of me. Because remember, imagine if it continued like forever, a life cycle like that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
We're gonna end well.
Yeah, so you know, I mean, that's not healthy. I mean, I also want to start a family, one day and stuff like that. So he just told me, no, let's actually put sentence by sentence, like your eyes need to see exactly the money amount. He's like, even if it's airtime, because you might do airtime or do your nails maybe 2 or 3 times a month, it has to be there.
Wow.
It literally has to be there, so I can see where, because it really got you. It was a while where I was doing that every time. I always wonder, no man, why is there only that mark where I know, I'm going to ask, like, can I please get, please get some money? So for me, I think that was I wouldn't say maybe it's debt per se, but it was my bad, it was not good money management. Let me just say, up until I had that wake-up call from my brother. And then I even ended up using the financial services that are offered, at my workplace. It's a service where you get, assistance from a financial advisor who actually helps you to manage your money like a pro. So I actually just decided to call and use that service, and I think honestly it's just done, it's done wonders for me. Now I'm not just splurging and wasting. I know where my money is going. Like, I'm more responsible, let me just say, with my money at this point.
That's awesome. That's great. Yeah. And look. Also, like a round of applause to you, because someone can tell you, right, on what to do and so on. And sometimes it falls on deaf ears, So hopefully this is not falling on deaf ears. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah. That's very, very good on your side.
And I actually wanted to ask you, Siviwe, when it comes to loans, and you touched on it somewhere there actually, because you mentioned that, there's loans, that obviously, banks give out, different financial institutions. Would you, what's your take basically on that notion of taking out loans? And give me your honest opinion on taking out loans for other people, because I have read horror stories. Like people taking, when they ask maybe by either their partners or family members, take out a loan of maybe even like 500,000 they want to start, and they assure them, they tap into their emotions, and people have done it, the person disappears, you left with a 1 million debt, 500,000 rand debt. Like, what is your honest take on taking out a loan for whoever? It can be a friend, a partner.
Is it?
Like, just what's your take on that?
Yeah, no, that's obviously a no-go. Funny enough, though, I think there was someone who actually told me to take out a loan.
Ooh.
So, look, come on, I know I'm gonna have to be the one who has to pay this. So it's very wise to say no. I think on my side, though, now for me, I just like Ngatina. I think for me, I just sort of like, what? This is crazy. But then for some people, they might kind of fall into it. For example, with myself, I started that other business, right? Someone telling me, falling into the emotional trap. So some people might also fall into that emotional trap, taking out a loan for whatever loan that they have to take out for. So, but the wisest thing, though, is obviously to say no to that. That is the safest and the wisest thing to do. Like, you can't, if you know that your name is on there, whatever, maybe it's a business that we start up, and then you're like, you know what, Siviwe, your credit score is much higher than mine, and the banks will allow you to take out the loan, so let's have your signature on the paper. Let it be you who takes out the loan, because your credit score is good, and look, the company we're starting, it's a sure thing, so come on, just
take it out.
Yeah, take it out.
It's your ID, by the way, that's being registered.
Yeah, so now it's like, it's like your back is against the wall. So, Yo, it's a tough one. It's a tough one, but yeah, you have to have some type of I don't know, bro, but
it's a no.
It's a no. Yes, no, it's a no for me. Like the wisest and the safest thing to do is say no to that. If Londo you say that you have, they also have to have something maybe that they have signed in case something goes wrong here. You know?
Yes.
Because sometimes you can say, okay, cool, what are your assets? Okay? My assets are A, B, and C. Okay, cool. If whatever this thing does not go through, the bank or you can have my assets in A, B, and C, you know? So it has to be something on paper though. Whether it's family or friends or whatever, it has to be on paper.
And you know what? I actually agree with you on that. I honestly share the same sentiments when it comes to that. I would not take out a loan for some, like I just wouldn't. And not only because I've read the horror stories and they have been horrific. I mean, people can go out and read them now. It is scary. We are told time and time again, you know, don't take out a loan. No, like even if it's for like a boyfriend, a girlfriend, of course.
Especially that.
No, especially that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even friends, actually, yes, you love them, but I would not take out a loan. Even if someone came to me and said, Funeka, can you please take out this? Maybe when I want to get a car or I want to get a home or whatever, but just take it out for me, but I will pay it. So they will pay it. But I must take out the loan registered in my name instead, tying me down basically legally for like what, R1 million, $500,000, or even over $1 million. People have taken. Like I just wish people could just go out and read. I mean, it's everywhere online. You know these horror stories that I've seen that have made me be like, I will never take out a loan.
There's no way.
No, I'm so like that's why when you were speaking, yes, you were in my head. I was just in agreement the whole time. I was like. Fact.
The level of trust that you must have for someone like it's come on. No ways.
But remember they do that thing that you said they tap into the emotion, and some people have and it's quite sad. They're sitting with now like debts of like $500,000 and above. And the people that have asked them are nowhere to be found. You know what? Let's take it even lower. Some have been asked to take out contracts, you know, whether it's friend or a partner, like you say, boyfriend or girlfriend, for even things like cell phones, and cars. They disappeared with those items, mind you, whether it's a phone, a car, or whatever, and the actual individual, whether it's a woman or a guy, they are literally left with the loan because remember, they took out the loan.
Exactly.
So I feel so sad when I see stuff like that.
And money is a sensitive topic and issue, right? So she could leave one like in a very depressed situation. Especially the amounts of money that maybe you're talking about, the $500,000 to $1 million and so on. You know, imagine leaving someone with that debt. So just to save yourself, though, please say no to things like that.
Say no.
Yeah.
And don't you
just say no. How hard can it be?
But the thing is, some people, I hear you say that, but even from others, they come in with that, remember, that emotional aspect, like, hi man, I love you, baby. Can't you trust me, baby? You know, I'm the love of your life. Why would you not trust me? Or is there another person there that you'd rather do?
And you know I'm working, so I'll do this thing.
No, just no.
Yes.
Just, you're not a bad person. If they don't understand, just no.
Money is very sensitive.
It's so sensitive, and you know, even if I'm of that notion, you know, even if someone asks to borrow you money, even if it's a friend, let's even leave like a partner, even if it's literally a friend or whatever, and you maybe know that you can't, it's okay to say no, because you know, for you, where you are and how you've structured maybe even like your month, you can say no. You don't have to, you still love them and things like that, but you don't have to go above and beyond, but knowing it's going to leave you in a crunch. If you can, and you do obviously have that solid, stable relationship, and you know they've given you a date and it's that type of friend, of course, by all means. But, and if you know that you can't, there's absolutely nothing wrong with saying no.
Definitely.
If you can't do it, you can't. You're saying no. I still love you, but that is just something that I won't be able to do.
Yeah. No, definitely. Bailing out a friend is important, and by all means, if you can bail out a friend, you can.
If you can, yeah.
If you can do that. But the ones signing loans and stuff, that's too.
That scares
yeah, no, that's
that
a bit too steep. Yeah, no. If I come to you, boy, 10K, are you able to send? If you can, you can. Don't go out and take out a loan for that. Yeah, but that it does not make sense. Yeah, well, so. But if you can, and as a friend, and you also have that bit extra jana on the side, yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
You know what? You actually mentioned this. I just want us to also dive into it just a bit. Credit score.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned it. Just please share with us, Siviwe, your understanding, or just in whatever terms you can share with us, what is a credit score, and and how important do you think it is to keep a good credit score? Because I also actually have something to say about this one. Yeah.
So in simple terms, right?
Yeah.
Credit score. So for example, let me make an example first.
Sure.
So you want to open up an account. Let's say Watchwords, and then you go Watchwords and they decline you. The reason why they decline you is due to a bad credit score. The reason why you have a bad credit score is because of your previous accounts that you were not able to pay, or you are in a deficit, or you are in a judgment. Being like in a deficit, it's those things whereby you haven't paid an account and they keep asking you to pay your account. Funeka, it's 2 months now, we haven't received any money. Can you at least pay this amount? And they start calling you and so on. They send through to the lawyers. But it becomes a default, and then it leads to adjustments. Now that decreases credit score. Yeah. Now with a bad credit score, you are not able to maybe open up your accounts. You are not able to buy a car. You are not able to get finance for a house, and so on. Yeah, well, so that is the importance of a credit score, being able to, allow you, if you want to open that account, you are able to. They allow you to open it. But if you do have a bad credit score, then you're not gonna be able to, and that is due to you not being able to pay your accounts previously, and that is due to your savings and your budgeting that has not been going well.
That is not you've
not been doing. Yeah, well, so yeah, credit score it's also very, very important. To maintain a good credit score is very important.
Have you ever defaulted on yours, or has it just always been?
Look, no. There was a time, right? Now, when I first joined a gym, they give you like depends on how much years you want. So I said I want a 2-year contract, right? And they gave me a 2-year contract. It was ending in November.
Okay.
So when it ended in November, I thought it ended, right? Now apparently you have to go in and let them know that you're not going to be carrying on.
Oh, that you're done.
Yeah, that you're done with the contract.
Okay.
So now I did not know that, so I just kept like, okay, cool, I can't go to the gym anymore because the contract is coming to an end in November. And then December came, they deducted money. I was like, they must have made a mistake. So I reversed it. Like, come on. They reversed it. And then in Jan, same thing happened. In Feb, I think for like 6 months, I was like, what are these people doing? So I kept reversing up until I got calls there from lawyers and stuff. And now it was like 1.8 or something that I have to pay in. So now I was kind of furious because I was like, but no, contract jam said I'm ending in November. And they're like, no, but you have to go inside and let them know about that. You are done with the gym. Yeah, so that was the one time I fell into default.
And that's so important. You see, even when you tie it down to contracts, always I think maybe look at the end date or to ensure with whatever company or whatever that, hey, all we done is my contract completed, to not fall into what happened.
Definitely. And for us in the financial industry, or the company that I'm working for, you can't be in those things, right? So you can't get a job with default or adjustment and be in the financial institution. It's like, for example, I used to recruit the financial advisors, right? So now you can't want to be a financial advisor, but at the same time, you've got all this debt on you, right? What are you going to be advising your clients?
On.
On.
If it's not working for you.
If it's not working for you, that was it. Yeah, well, so I had to sort that out quickly because I know how it impacts the career I'm on with financial industry.
Oof.
Yeah.
And for me, with a credit score, my first, like I mentioned, I didn't have good spending habits in my first year or two of working. Now, what I also did, I would take temporary loans.
Yeah.
From the bank.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Those 2 years, I don't know what was. Maybe it was a testing. I think it was a learning phase. Let me just call it a learning phase because I'm sure it was one. I would take out temporary loans. Most temporary loans you can take maybe like 3,000 or 9,000 or whatever, but you have to pay it back. Remember, within the next 30 days.
Yeah.
So I took out a lot of those for a couple of months, and remember, now keep in mind when you take out even temporary loans. That affects your credit score negatively. Now your credit score is doing what? It's going down. It's going down because now essentially essentially now you're basically telling the bank, I don't have enough money. My money.
Every month is like
every month you are essentially telling yourself, hello, I can't sustain myself. Actually, you as the bank, you need to sustain me. My money can't sustain me. But it was literally every month, and then there was something that I wanted to buy now about maybe a year or two after that. There was something that I wanted to buy, but obviously my credit needed to be in good standing. And mine wasn't. So that was the nice part about, I guess, that service as well that's offered at my workplace, because I used it and then I spoke to a financial advisor. I said, what is going on? Like my credit score is bad and I want it to be good. When it's there in the high numbers. I want it to be good and healthy. And then the financial advisor told me, they pulled out my record. They were like, no, Funeka, the thing that's affecting your credit score that is making it down, when it is what? It's these temporary loans that you keep taking back to back.
Yeah, your loans are bad for your credit score.
Did I know that at that time?
So one should really try to avoid the loans by all means. A loan is, and it's really bad for you, because as you were saying, you want to take out 2,000 now, but also when you pay back, I owe 3,000. It's not like me going, hey, Funeka, can I borrow like 3,000? Next month I'll pay it back to you. Yeah, well, I'm gonna pay you back as 3,000. But now, if it's like the bank or whatever loan institution you borrowed from, you wanna take 3,000, you're gonna pay 3.5 back. Okay,
exactly.
4,000 back.
4,000.
Yeah, well, with your mobile, but a charcoal. There's a dent now of that 1,000 rand that is gone. So you just keep falling onto that trap. So every single month, if you're doing that, basically you are giving them money as well. Yeah, well, so I think that's what happens to most people, our people.
That's
because well, so the more loans you keep taking, you're paying. The more money you are actually losing out. Yeah, well, so the best is to try to settle your loans as quick and as soon as possible.
Did we just have load shedding?
Load shedding.
Can you even see us? This is crazy. This is the second time. This has happened. Can you even see us?
Yeah, still can,
No, you're not. We're gonna.
Can you see me? Obviously, you can see.
You must tell us the truth. Can you?
Yeah, I can.
No, but you see, with the credit score, anyway, Siviwe, is that temporary loans. The bank, basically the banks want you to keep taking out those temporary loans. That's what they offer them. Remember, it comes on as a silver platter. Like, no, you can take one for 9,000, 10,000.
And they're smiling because even the people who are giving it to you, it's like for them they get a commission on that. Yes.
But it doesn't work well for us now as the individual, who's trying to live a good financial life. So for me, what I did, I was like, okay, the financial advisor said, Funeka, you need to stop. Stop taking out personal loans. And then the advisor was telling me, the banks are happy, yes, that you're doing that. Of course they're happy. That's why they said they saw your pattern. That's why they kept even sometimes increasing how much of the temporary loan you can take every month, because they're like, they're happy. Yes, our regular. Basically now, now you're a regular. And then my financial advisor was like, you know what, let's try this, right? That's when we tapped into that budget thing. Yes, Siviwe. And where we did a good budget, and then she was like, let's try, let me give you this test, Funeka. 5 months, don't touch a temporary loan. You know, I see this is your salary, fine. These are your expenses. Yes, you do have an entertainment budget as well. You do your hair sometimes, nails, things like that. Don't touch. Let's just try and follow this. Let's follow this system just for 5 months. Let's see. You will tell me if you want to go back to that lifestyle after 5 months, but let's see. And then she also told me, watch how your credit score, where it is now, which is down, how it's going to shoot up. And literally, I followed her advice. But you said it, you need discipline.
Definitely. That's what I was about to say. Like, discipline is needed.
That you had to have.
Oh, and that's not easy though, eh? Because you know when you see that sneaker that you like.
Well, you're right.
You know,
the wig, and it looks nice.
Yeah, exactly. Or your friends say, let's go out and you're having lunch and you're like looking at the menu and they're like, okay, each person is gonna buy their own thing. You know? So even with that, you know, you have to cut it. You know, if you're used to going out like 4 times in a week, you have to make go twice or once in a week now, type of thing.
Oh, that's such a good point.
Yeah.
Very good point. Even don't be afraid of cutting down your lifestyle.
Yeah, definitely.
There were definitely things, if I'm honest with you, that I cut out. Obviously, not your necessities, you know, your free talk, but there were definitely things where I could see, but Funeka, here you're splurging. Like there's no need.
There's no need.
There's no need, my girl. Like, really? Like you even said, if you go out 4 times a week, why? Do it maybe once a week.
Yeah.
Or once in 2 weeks if you want. Then it's that catch up. You know, a week, another week.
Exactly.
You've already made it.
Yeah.
So there were definitely those changes that I made out, and I cut out certain things as well, obviously from my lifestyle. Like, definitely decreased also the going out a lot.
Yeah.
And then I literally, after that 5-month period, because I'll obviously check it now every month, the credit score. It was beautiful. I was literally like dancing now. I was even doing like a happy dance, like what? When I spoke to her again, I was like, your method worked. She was like, see the distance. Now she was like, go and take out now a temporary loan. I said, I'm not doing, I was like, I'm not doing that. Like the credit score was so good. There was no debt. But of course, we do understand as well. It's not easy. Because our situations are not the same.
Definitely.
As everybody, it's really not easy. There's different circumstances, but at least if you can just try bit by bit, I think. But if you're a student, I'm trying to think, like, you know, when we were in varsity, how can maybe they save? Because I'm just trying to think, when I was in varsity, you know, sometimes your money will just goes. Like, I don't know how do you think maybe if you're still in varsity and maybe they have a job or a side job, you know, just to earn a bit of income, how can they maybe save, like just save better as someone who's fresh? Because of course, you know, when you're just in varsity, you don't have as much, you know, that experience and knowledge that of course we've learned along the years, trial and error, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah, look, varsity.
I know.
You do. And also though, as you said, people have their different circumstances and so on, you know. But on my side though, I knew I had to have something on the side, you know, just to do the things I wanted to do and buy me the things that I wanted to buy myself, because you know, that you understand that your parents can't always buy you these things. You know, you're lucky enough though they can pay for the thing that you need. You know, now sometimes you're taking a bit too far for the things that you want. Alright, so you're working for yourself for the things that you want. Alright, so having that having that side job while you're still in varsity. For example, for myself, as I said, it was working at the stadium when there was matches and so on.
Bartending, eh?
Bartending, yes. So saving that money as well, the little that you do get, try to save. Look, it's very important. You don't have to be you try thinking, okay, only once I start getting like 50K a month, I will start saving. Start saving with the little that you have, you know, because that also trains you so that when you do have that amount, that 50K coming in, you are also still able to save, right? Because that is just training yourself so that when it comes to a point whereby there's a lot of money, then you are also able to take care of that situation, that money. Because sometimes what happens is people do not spend do not save because maybe they will say, yeah man, this is little, but then they're not able to save even when they do have that big amount, you know what I mean? And I think just to maybe deter a little bit, I think also if you look like, for example, in sports in South Africa, like the soccer guys, they always end up, after their career is done, they always end up in a bad situation because of not being able to save.
That's
right?
So true. I've read some stories about
that. Yeah, like the top soccer players who ended up being, you know, like,
But sometimes they have nothing when the career ends.
Exactly.
Not all of them, of course, but
most of them.
But
because of that trap of not being able to save. Also, not having the background or the education of on saving and so on. So the little that you do have, save that so that you can just also have that mindset that later on, even when you do get big amounts, you are able to save even during that time. Because if with the little that you have, if you can't, even with the big that you do have, you won't. So my advice, even for your students, you're gonna have to get like a side hustle, and also side hustle, it must not interfere with your studies.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Please, it must not interfere with the studies. You must not fall into the trap of buying or you are weighing if you should attend class or go and don't do this. So work, your studies should always come first, and then the side hustle thing, is there just to try
supplement
and maintain the things that you want. But also saving and putting it somewhere whereby you don't have easy access to it. Put it somewhere whereby you do not have easy access to it, whereby you have to wait like 30 days or something, or 2 months.
That's so true. The way you can't touch it, you won't touch it.
Yeah, because sometimes you might think you want this thing now. Now you might think you want it, but maybe 2 days time you think, I don't really need that thing at that time. So that I think that would be my advice on that.
And funny enough, I loved what you said. There was such an important point you just said right now, because when you said if you can't handle small income, even if it's maybe 500 rand a month or 1,000 rand a month, how are you going to have that discipline when you're earning 30K a month, 40K a month, or 70K a month? And that even it's basically, if you are, of course, a believer or are religious, it also just says, if you don't have the discipline, to handle even a small blessing. Now, when a larger one comes, how will you have, the right character or the discipline, but, bringing it back to money? That is so true. Like, it applies, even if you earn like a small income. Learn first how to save that. Even if it's a little bit, like you said it all, actually, Siviwe. Because if you can't handle that,
it's like what you're speaking about, actually, with like a religion and whatnot. So Christians know that they have to give a 10%, right? Now it's 10% for a reason, because whether you are earning 1,000 or 10,000, you have to give 10%. So if you're finding it hard to give 10% with 1,000 rand, you are gonna have a difficult time giving a 10% when you do have like 10,000,
a higher income.
Because at the end of the day, it's the same. If it's 10%, it's 10% type of thing. So it's not saying you have to take out 1,000 rand. Now, if you're earning 2,000, it's going to be a bit of a hectic thing for someone who's earning 2,000. It's going to be easy for someone who's earning 10,000. But if it's 10%, it's the same for everyone. It's equal. So yeah, it's that discipline whereby whether it's you're having a small amount, take it out, whether you're having a big amount. So that discipline comes in there. Like you really have to be able to be disciplined.
And Yazi, I love also what you said when you said even if you are studying, you can actually still work.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen many students do this. Even had actually conversations with them that are actually doing so well. They're really doing well for themselves. Like they're still studying, yes, and doing well in school and passing their degrees, their diplomas, and so forth. But they're still doing that. They either waitressing, or doing bartending, and even other conversation I had with another waiter, they flat out told me like, no, one day me, because I love having conversations with them.
Yeah.
He said that he just does the waitressing so that it actually pays for his apartment.
Wow.
Because he understands the situation that he was facing back home. I was just like, from waitressing, from waitressing, and he's like, his studies are also not lacking. He just basically does this on weekend and on certain days also during the week where he knows he's got those hour gaps. So I was like, wow, that's why even with what you said, you can definitely also if you can just find that sort of discipline, manage your studies and just working for an income as well. It doesn't have to be every day. Just make sure that at least it doesn't take away from the concentration, obviously, from your studies as well.
Yeah.
Just before we end off, Siviwe, I think, what are your just financial tips, even if it's one or two, that have maybe even worked for you, just before obviously we come to a close. Just your money management tips that have just worked for you.
Okay, you caught me off guard on that one. My tip is it's how I can really describe it is planning. Right? Planning is crucial. All right. If you're just saving, you might not, make it through. But with the proper planning on how you're gonna do it and why you're gonna do it, right, is very, very, very important. Right? And with that being said, I think you caught me off guard with that one. But look, it is really planning at the end of the day.
Because it's at the top, actually.
It's planning, and also what we have mentioned is that discipline, right? Yeah. And I think the easiest quote, I'm trying to think of it now. It's the price of suffering is comfort, and the price of comfort is suffering. Right? Meaning you can either choose to be comfortable now and suffer later, or you can suffer now and be comfortable later. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And remember, discipline is not always easy, guys. We tend to think sometimes it's maybe the easiest thing to do or whatever. No, it's like quitting maybe even a bad habit, like whatever habit that is for any type of person. It's not really, not the easiest thing to do. So we do also understand that it just takes, it takes a lot of will, and just also changing that mindset.
Yeah.
Like, okay, now I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just going to do this.
Yeah.
I think for me, my final tips actually very much, similar to you. Plan better, budget, that has definitely worked for me, and always check like your monthly statements, like where your money is going, and try not to take out any temp loans, or my personal opinion as well, or even loans for other people. And just to basically maintain a healthy credit score as well. Just keep healthy debt. That's what they call it, right? Healthy debt. I think that's just for me. Like you said planning, have the discipline, budget, check your statements, know where your money is going. If you want to even speak to, are there actually free financial advisors? Are there services actually like that? I'm not Sure. I'm actually not too sure, but I know some workplaces, but I mean, if you're not working, I wonder if there's any institutions that do offer, but I think people can maybe just go and research that.
Yeah, you
if I'm
can
not
research
too
that. So even
Actually, not too sure.
yeah, no, there are. You can also, you can always speak to a financial advisor, and they will try to assist you the best way they can in your finances. And also, look, with them giving like advice, it is free, but then obviously sometimes they might let you know that look, the best thing for you to do is take up like an investment, and then that's where you end up paying. But the advice though is free, but then you have to pay when you take out their product or that investment or savings. Yeah, that's how it works though in the space that I am.
In your industry, basically.
Yes, where I am. Yeah.
I just want to say thank you so much, Siviwe, for giving me your time. I hope that you guys took something from it, and let's manage. You manage. We literally sitting in dogs. Let's manage our finances better. I wish you guys prosperity, financial wealth, financial health, and discipline as well. So from us, we are out.
Yes. We're out, right?